The scenario. You just rolled a 1. GameMasters here, and your heart sinks as the die lands on its lowest possible number. Dread sets in. You just know that something bad is about to happen to your character. But fear not, because rolling a 1 can actually lead to some of the most memorable and entertaining moments in your campaign, provided you know how to handle it. Here are 5 tips on dealing with rolling a 1. Embrace the roll. Instead of seeing this as a critical fail, see it as a way to add depth to the story. Think about what just happened. Consider how this itself can fit into the narratives and use it to enhance your role-playing experience. Perhaps your attempt to pick a lock is what failed and nearby guards were alerted. Or perhaps your attack completely misses and your sword shocks upon the ground. Either way, that failed roll can now be used in a new way. Perhaps you try to tell a joke to the guards and use a different set of skills to get yourself out of that situation, or you just simply drop your sword at the monster's feet and grasp it with a huge hearty hug and hope for the best. Either way, the story that would be told after that, trust me, it's going to be legendary. Inject humor. What could be more humorous than just letting go of your sword and giving the bad guy a friendly hug? Sometimes you have to embrace the absurdity of the situation and simply make your character's failure funny. Maybe Conan's attempt to intimidate the camel resulted in the camel simply spitting back in Conan's face. Or perhaps the bard attempting to sing a song and his pitch is so off-key that it sends the local wildlife running. Yeah, turning a critical fail into a humorous moment can lighten the mood up and keep the game fun, even when all you want to do is toss that little ball of plastic at the wall. Spark creativity. Yeah, you rolled a 1, but that doesn't have to mean a straightforward failure. Think outside the box, and most DMs will allow this, but in our previous scenario of the rogue failing to pick a lock, see if you can role play it out. The after effect, that is. Ask a question. Did I notice anything audible? Or when the picking of the lock failed, can I conceal what I was doing to avoid suspicion from the guards? Now, embrace the failure, but see if it can't lead to something a touch creative. It might just work in your favor. Challenge assumptions. We'll go back to the bard singing so badly that it caused the wildlife to run. Yeah, it may have been a pivotal moment and you really needed that song to work, but what did you just learn? That you can actually sing so badly that it causes things to run away. Now, instead of simply following the expected outcome of a failed roll, consider how you can subvert that expectation into something else. Can you remember the exact moment your voice cracked and the song went awry? Could you do it again? Because if so, you may have just found a new secret weapon. Sing so bad that even the mightiest of enemies will want to run away in fear. Now, the next tip is for DMs, but before I reveal it, I first need to thank these critical supporters. Their contributions to the channel have been all 20s, and I cannot thank them enough. If you'd like to see about becoming a Patreon or YouTube member, I'll leave a link down in the description, and of course I'll add your name to this ever-growing list. As mentioned, this next tip is for the Dungeon Master. Guys, don't be so eager. I know, some DMs get a kick out of seeing a roll of a 1 come up when a player is trying to do something. Failures are going to happen, and sometimes they're going to be detrimental to the game. Sometimes a failed roll can even cost a player their mortality. It's something that, as both a player and a DM, everyone has to accept. But you shouldn't take pride in it, nor should you laugh at the player's expense. They have put a part of themselves into their character, and it's likely that something bad is about to happen to that character. As a DM, don't be so eager to make something horrific happen. Recognize when it's appropriate and when it's not to pull out the really bad stuff. A roll of a 1 when picking a lock doesn't automatically mean that the rogue's fingers are chopped off, or that when a mage rolls a 1 that the fireball he's trying to cast detonates directly onto the party. Although that is kind of funny. Anyway, rolling a 1, as mentioned, is going to happen, but it's not the end of the world, nor is it the end of the campaign. Depending on how you deal with it, it can actually bolster the evening and help to make it a grand story for the ages, something that you and your friends are going to remember for years to come. Next time you see that 1, embrace the opportunity to see where it takes you. You never know when a failure is going to lead to an epic adventure. But I gotta know, have you had a failing moment that you've been able to turn around and actually use to your advantage? Or have you had a pure comical moment to take place specifically because of that rolled 1. Tell me about it down in the comments, and until next our paths cross, may you, well, not roll a 1.